Hello everyone, I'm D-Mind, the mind of one and all, and welcome back to another episode of An Octave Higher. So in the last episode, we are introduced to our main character and we learn while he's playing a game called Sorcerer. Alright, which is interesting. It reminds me of that game in Avatar The Legend of Korra, but oh well. Wednesday 24 Sextilis AM 3:13. You know, when a game uses their own date system, I can't imagine how they expect the viewers to actually understand it without explaining it beforehand. Like, that's the problem with certain games, like, especially RPGs, like, games based on fairy tales and, like, different worlds altogether. They use different date systems, which I guess is understandable, but how am I supposed to understand? Oh well. Okay, some guy with red hair. Students. Good afternoon, Professor. He's a professor? He looks way too young. But oh well. Good afternoon, class. The students are goggling at me, probably wondering why the teacher looks awfully young. That's what I thought at first too. Wait, am I the teacher now? Wait, but did I change perspective? I don't think this is the same character, yeah. So I think I changed perspective, I'm no longer that kid. Oh well. And is wearing the same school uniform as them. Your teacher for this course is Professor Johann Pohl. I am not, however, Professor Johann Pohl. My name is Franz Byron. I'm a senior and Professor Pohl is the advisor for my capstone project. I was asked to stand in for the professor during his absence. I think it's best not to mention that this is the first time I've ever taught a class. I told the professor as much in protest, but he said I could just say whatever I want to say about magic. Wow. Well, let's see how this goes. Welcome to Introduction to Magical Science. Go away, video. Driver available. Blah. Welcome to Introduction to Magical Science. It sounds harmless enough, right? Well, maybe so, but by the end of this semester, you have encountered almost every topic that you will be studying in detail over the next 4 years. Wait, what? Oh, alright. So you should probably open your notebooks. As half the freshmen scramble for pen and paper, I wonder what kind of student my professors thought I would become. These days I'm regarded as being very analytical, but how much of that was due to my own effort? And how much was due to the gauntlet that is Introduction to Magical Suffering, as we used to call it? Just think, 3 months ago these freshmen were still middle school students, oblivious to the worries and worries of the world. 4 short years ago I was the same as them. Well, they knew what they were getting themselves into when they decided to study the science of magic in a conservatoire. This class has finally quietened down. It's time to start my first lesson. So, magic. I'm sure everyone here has used it before. As long as you have a bit of mana in you, you can use magic. You in front of the row. I choose a girl at random. So when was the first time you cast a spell? I think when I was 7. I touched the wick of a candle and it started burning. Congratulations, you're normal. Some freshmen are giggling even though I wasn't actually trying to be funny. Most people unconsciously start using magic as a child and learn to control it as they grow up. But although you can use magic now, you probably don't know you're able to do that. Or why some of you are good with fire magic, or some others are better with water magic. Or why you can sometimes cast a particular spell but have no idea how to do it again. Well, what we call the science of magic is kind of the roadmap that we've made that will help you better understand these things. Am I really sitting through a magic class? Oh well. I stop and observe the freshmen. They seem interested enough in the subject. Well, maybe, now that I'm up here, it really is hard to tell who's genuinely interested and who's staring right through me. As you all know, there are 5 magical traits that a human can have. These are courage, intelligence, willpower, faith, and compassion. Any magic is based on one or a combination of these traits. For example, water-based magic is based on intelligence. In addition, there are 4 types of magical abilities that can act on those 5 traits. They are summon, amplify, nullify, and transform. Don't confuse magical traits with magical abilities. Remember, the abilities use the traits. Yeah, I'm sitting through a magic class. Cool, I guess. The act of applying a magical ability is called an invocation. Let's return to our water magic example. The most basic water magic is of course to make water appear. Whether you want to attack an enemy or to water your houseplants, you can use water magic to water your houseplants. Cool. The principle is the same. The water spell is cast by invoking the summon ability on the intelligence trait. I pick up a piece of chalk and write a magic formula on the blackboard. This is what we call a magic formula, and this one defines the formula of our simple water spell. You read that as invoke the summon ability using the power of intelligence. I face the freshman again. It's really one of the simplest magic formula. It only requires one invocation. Summon is the most basic of magical abilities. If a magic spell makes any kind of physical matter appear or materialize, it almost certainly involves summon. Fire is summon on courage. Wind is summon on faith. Don't worry, you'll have these memorized by next week. And then there's amplify, which is used to increase some aspect of your magic to make it stronger, faster, larger. For example, a magician can increase the force of gravity by invoking amplify on willpower. Or for example, a more common use of amplify is to strengthen a summon spell. I write a new formula down the water formula. Essentially, flood is the stronger version of water. So you say, you invoke summon on intelligence. If before you release the magic from your hand, you invoke amplify on top of it. You cast flood instead of water. Alright, this all makes sense, but I'm literally sitting through a class. Oh well, I don't know how to feel about this. This school. Well, I'm sure this sounds simple, but in practice, chaining 2 different abilities together like this is considered a high level technique. Really. The girl I spoke to earlier raises her hand. I've always assumed that the stronger version of water is ice. A common misconception, ice is in fact a much more complex magic spell. It's something we call combination magic, or combo magic, because it involves more than one trait. To cast ice, you have to combine water with, which is based on intelligence, and freeze, which is based on courage. Courage? That's fire! I would have thought it's intelligence and faith to make, ice. Wind and not water. Oh well. I erase the blackboard and write the magic formula of ice. As you can see from the formula, there are 2 invocations that are combined to cast the spell. Oh, and nullify is just the opposite of amplify, if you were wondering. It makes something become less. Oh, alright. If you make it less fire plus water, that doesn't make ice, though. Some of the freshmen look confused. Well guys, no pain no gain. If this formula looks complicated, take a look at this. If you wanted to make your ice spell even stronger, or if Ice Storm wasn't good enough for you, there's always Blizzard. Yes, the best traits of a teacher is to confuse your students even more by showing them there is even more stuff and there's even much more things that you will probably not grasp when there's already something more simple that they couldn't understand. Yeah, that's the signs of a good teacher. Yeah, Ice Storm plus Wind. Yeah. The freshmen look grim as I put down the chalk. Yes, you're the best teacher. Actually, I think it must feel great for a teacher to put down your students, but as a student, yeah. Some of them might be having second thoughts about taking magical science as their major. Yeah. Don't panic, it's really not that complicated once you understand the basics. The sound of the bell has an effect on the freshman akin to a revive spell. That's not too far off the mark. Come to think of it, the sound of the bell is produced by a magic machine that summons wind to ring a small bell and then amplifies the resulting sound wave. Oh, that's right, I didn't even mention magic machines. The study of magic machines belongs to the magical engineering department, but us magical scientists are expected to understand the basic principles of their design and function. Well, I'll leave that to Professor Poe, assuming he doesn't make me do this again. Okay, how does this guy relate to the noble guy from the beginning? I followed the freshmen out of the classroom. I'm as happy as they are that the lessons ended. I'm really not cut out for teaching, I think. I know that Professor Poe is busy preparing for the symposium tomorrow. But how could he just push his job to me? What did he see in me? Speaking of the symposium, I remember that I have my own preparations to make. Professor Poe wants me to discuss the research that I'm doing for my final year project. My project, it's hopeless if you ask me, but tomorrow I need to sell the idea to a room full of professionals. The annual symposium held in Conservatoire de Overture. Alright. It's not a mere school event. Even though it takes place in a conservatoire, it will be attended by many renowned majors from across Overture. After all, this is the most prestigious school of magic, science and engineering in the city. I don't know what people would think when they see a teenager presenting a school project in the symposium. I mean, I haven't even started the project yet. What? You haven't even started? Then how you know it's hopeless and why? Never mind. I stride down the hallway towards the main entrance, paying a little attention to the dwindling masses of students. It really is a beautiful institution. In a few hours, these halls will be entirely empty. At such times, you would be hard-pressed to identify this place as a school. The conservatoire is as elegant as a lord's mansion. I recognize some of my classmates in the hallway, but I'm not close enough with any of them to bother with greetings and such niceties. Well, that's hardly surprising. We're just strangers who happen to be sharing the same road in life. After this year, we'll go our own separate ways. Hey, Franz! Well, here comes an outlier. I turn in the direction of the cheerful female voice. Franz, where have you been? I thought you didn't have classes in the afternoon today. I know I said that I'm not close to most students here, but there are exceptions. Hi, Rita. Have you been looking for me? This is Rita Blyton. Oh, your sister? Or cousin? I think that's the same last name as you, right? Yes, Franz. I've been looking everywhere for you. I was dying to see you. She's not my girlfriend. Don't worry, love. I'm here for you now. I repeat, not my girlfriend. Then why is she having the last name? Why do you call her love? So where have you been? Around. Where have you been looking? The cafeteria. And? Just the cafeteria. Don't tell me she eats a lot of food. And that's your character trait. Yes. You're just having your afternoon tea. Bingo. You know me so well, don't you? You're just easy to read. Arita has this particular way of laughing her heart out that's just pleasant to watch and makes you want to laugh along with her. Really. We start walking. I was teaching a class. Professor Poe asked me to fill in for him. Whoa, cool. It's really not that exciting. Are you sure? I bet you're checking out the girls. Was I? Well, you did pick on one. Well, I wouldn't say picked on one girl, you just picked. Nah. I might have. The class did have its fair share of cuties. I'm not a pervert like you, Arita. But you thought some of them were cute, didn't you? Am I blushing? Maybe she's not the only one who is easy to read. It's almost sundown when we leave the conservatoire building. There are most people outside than inside, most of whom are getting ready to go home. While we're walking toward the street outside the conservatoire courtyard, a girl I don't recognize notices us and waves. She's wearing the same uniform as Rita, which means she's a magical engineering student. Must be one of Rita's friends. Hey! Rita greets the girl. Hi Rita, going home? No, Francie was just walking me out on a date. A date, huh? Wait, I think I just mixed up their voices. Oh well. Rita makes wild gestures to suggest how romantic this all is. I was. Rita drops her facade in a hurry. Actually, yes, I'm going home. Oh god, are you kidding me? The girl chuckles at Rita's little joke and they start chatting. Rita certainly has social skills. She's the kind of person who can make friends naturally with almost anyone. Sometimes I wish I could too, but then again... Okay, bye then. See you tomorrow, Rita. The girl turns to me. Bye, Franz. Bye. The girl walks away after saying her goodbyes. Do I know her? I ask Rita. Maybe. Wouldn't you remember someone you've met? Not at all. I often meet people whom I don't know who seem to know me. This is why you don't have many friends. Well, maybe she knows you because you're famous. Am I famous? Aren't you the top student in the Department of Magical Science? There is no denying that my intelligence has helped me earn good grades. I may or may not have been named that at one time. These days, though, it's more likely that Professor Poe is at my research project that's causing a buzz. There's a lot of exposition in this story, like... Alright, I guess exposition is fine, but... After exposition, normally you go into story. But after the exposition, we jump into another character and another exposition. Oh well. Outside the conservatory, the street is crowded with people who have just finished work and are jostling to go home. Rita and I cross the street to a crowded omnibus. Stop. We get in line behind a dozen other people. Rita stands in front of me. Isn't the line a little long? She turns back to face me. Can't be helped. It's rush hour. Across the street, just outside the conservatory, I see a student picked up by a personal chauffeur in a carriage. He gets into a carriage and plops down in the back seat while the driver sits in front. Once he is comfortable, his driver uses faith magic to manipulate the wind around the vehicle. The carriage floats into the air and presumably off to home. I want my own carriage too. Rita looks at... I give Rita a look at that says, who doesn't? I should probably read the names. Oh, Franz. You're gifted in faith, aren't you? Yes, but I don't own a carriage. At least you'll be able to fly one of those one day. Oh, I know. When I get a carriage, you drive me around, okay? Anything to make you happy, my dear. Then you'll buy me a carriage? You know what, though? I guess I should just look for a girlfriend rich enough to have her own carriage. Rita tries to fake a salty pout, but the corners of her lips are slightly raised. A different kind of carriage whizzes by. At its back seat sit a man and a woman, while the driver again sits in front. Unlike the previous carriage, however, in this one, the driver isn't controlling the air movements directly. Instead, he simply places his hand on a metal pad. You could always get one of those magic machines carriages. There's that option too. You don't need to be gifted in faith to drive that kind of carriage because of magic. Because the magic machine will do the summoning. But I'd still rather make you my driver. She says that with a wide grin. A few seconds pass and another carriage flies along the street. Are we literally going by the different type of carriages? And then another. More people come and stand behind me. It's hot and stuffy in this crowd. And even though we're outside, at last we see an omnibus turn a corner and head our way. Its flying platform is designed to carry 3 dozen passengers at most, but it's packed to the brim. There's no chance that we fit on there. I told you it'd be crowded. I told you this is normal, Franz. Rush hour. Rita is right. At this hour, the omnibus is always full of pros. The proletariat coming home from the factory. I don't feel like standing here. Let's just go. You're very snobby for someone who can't afford a carriage. I have nothing against pros. I just don't find the idea of standing on a bus platform with more than 4 dozen other people terribly exciting. You have the attitude of an aristocrat. I don't know whether it's good or bad. Fake it till you make it, right? We head in the direction of an aristocratic neighborhood. The poles don't commute through that area, so the omnibus won't be as crowded. I look up and see that dimming orange on the western sky. Of the western sky, the sun has just now set. As the city darkens, a man in the uniform walks to a nearby pole on the sidewalk. When he gets there, he raises his hand and points to the top of the pole. A ball of amber light appears and hovers a few inches above the pole, illuminating its surrounding area. So it goes by or occurs every night. That worker is one of the illuminators employed by the government. There's a lot of exposition in this game, like so much. Oh well, at least they're describing the world, which is kind of interesting. Employed by the government to brighten the city streets, if you catch the right omnibus at rush hour, you can see the results of hundreds of these illuminators' efforts. Overture slowly starts to twinkle as you glide over the city. Couldn't they just have some kind of system that turns them all on at once? You know, like our kind of system? The city's modern look and its clean, almost shiny multi-story buildings and brick-paved streets are teeming with flying carriages. There are magicians everywhere and magic machines are installed on every street corner. Overture is glorious, not just the city of magic, the city of magic. It's getting late, we should walk faster. Rita pulls out her chronometer and checks the time. The air inside the chronometer is continuously in motion to keep the minute hand and the weightier hour hand rotating. Again, so much exposition. These hands stay accurate all day as long as the chronometer is charged with mana every morning. She puts the metal timepiece back inside her pocket. So since you're in magical engineering, I guess your final year project is related to magic machines? Erita's eyes seem to sparkle at the moment of her final project. Of course, I already have a title for it. Application of binary logic and arithmetic in magic machines. What? Application of binary logic and arithmetic in magic machines. She recited the title in a single breath. And I can't do that. Yeah, I heard you the first time, but what the heck is that? You don't understand? I thought you were the smart one. I understand the words, but to me that sounds like you're trying to get a magic machine to do math. Bingo! You're the first person to guess it right away, Franz. Rita is beaming. Apparently she's proud of this idea. A calculator? Rita, that's preposterous. It is not, and look who's talking. Rita is right to call me out. The topic Professor Poe convinced me to undertake is even sillier than magical math. I guess we are in the same boat, sort of. So which professor forced you into this? Oh no, you misunderstand. I chose that topic myself. Rita, we are truly star-crossed. You've committed the academic equivalent of a suicide by choosing your hopeless topic, whereas I'm about to be murdered by mine. We'll be factory workers within a year. Squinting away my smart assery, Rita continues. It's really not impossible. The magic keyword, ahem, here is binary. So we are used to doing numerical calculations in group of 10. We have 10 fingers and 10 toes, right? This is called a base 10 numeral system. We're actually gonna learn about her project. Cool. But actually, there's no rule that says you must use base 10. For example, there is something else called a base 2 numeral system. It turns out that we can mathematically define simple arithmetic operations, such as the addition of two binary numbers as combinations of basic logical operations like AND, OR, and NOT, and NOT. I don't know whether to say N or and not, or to just say, or are they like abbreviations? In order to succeed with my final project, all I have to do is figure out how to implement these basic logical operations within a magic machine. I think I'll be able to do that by manipulating the flow of fire and water. If I can make fire represent a true value and water represents a false value, then I have two values, a binary system. You do realize I'm a magical scientist, right? We don't think in numbers. Listen, Franz, what I'm saying is, I may be able to make a calculator machine powered by magic. So do calculators exist in this world? Cause she just either came up with the name or... I know. That sentence doesn't make sense. Ahahaha, that's okay, you'll come to understand my genius someday. I don't tell her this, but if Rita is confident about her project, it's probably going to be a success. It's easy to forget because of what a whimsical character she is, but Rita is a very intelligent person. And when she puts her mind on something, she has the willpower to see it through to the end. My mouth is getting tired. Well, if she can make magic do math, and maybe I don't need to worry too much about my own impossible project. Finally, we reach the omnibus stop. Before long, an omnibus arrives as I thought it's nearly empty. This one is heading towards my house. Rita and I normally go home on the same omnibus, but the buses at this stop travel different routes, so we need to part ways here. Well, take care. Say hello to Dr. Blyton for me. Will do. See you tomorrow. She waves me goodbye before stepping into the omnibus. As the omnibus pulls away, I take a deep breath and look around. This neighborhood is slightly nicer than my own. It would be nice to own a house in a place like this someday. A young man rounds the corner off in the distance. Even from here I can see that he's dressed magnificently. But the only reason I notice him is from his stride. He looks angry. Is that guy from earlier? Yep. It's quite unusual to see a man of such high social standing walking alone on the street. Usually they don't bother to walk anywhere since they have their own chauffeurs. His strides are long and fast. He's virtually stomping down the street, and his face is a long scowl. It would be wise to avoid his attention, I think. I must have been walking for more than an hour, but no matter how far I've gone, I still can't calm down. My fingers ache from being clenched into a fist. For so long, my palms sting from where my nails have dug into them, and my mouth is tired from reading so much words. My gum, my jaws, and yeah, I'm having difficulty pronouncing words now. But I think this is a good place to end it. So, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at DMindGaming if you have enjoyed. And I hope to see you again in the next episode.